and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've been on a really long journey. I have not done this in a while, but something about this eclipse season is pulling me back in, and I feel the urge to bring a reading to you guys today. So we have in front of us 3 different options. You can pick by letters, you can pick with your crystal or the cards in front of you. This is going to be number 1, number 2, and number 3. So I'm going to go ahead and start with number 1. Let's go ahead and get started with your animal spirit that is going to come with you today. We have the grasshopper spirit. Take a leap of faith, number 30. Your first tarot card out here, the King of Swords, the Lovers, the Knight of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. All right, lots of people. And then we have 23 Confession with Venus and Mercury, Capricorn. Number 23 there, all right. And these 2 are going to be the Forest Fae. So we have Owl Song, whisper secrets to the moonlight, find strength in stillness. And then the Silent One, watch the shifting shadows and be a caretaker of silence. Very nice. We also have some charms for you, but let's go ahead and get into this energy here. And I'm feeling like this group in particular, you have a lot of choices to make. There is possibly some choices in love, possibly some professional choices, and choices about career and finances. So what I'm getting from these cards here mixed with this is that let's be careful about what we say and what we talk about with others. Make sure we keep it professional in the professional sphere. We don't bring our work home with us when it comes to our love relationships. And in our career, it looks like we're looking pretty good here in the King of Pentacles. You may have acquired a bit of healthy finances, or you are about to. And this is giving me like the universe message here of taking this leap of faith. And this Capricorn energy is showing me that this is mostly to do with maybe a work issue. And we have Venus and Mercury, so maybe we're also having some relationships with work. I see this movement for you here in the Knight of Cups. Has been a little bit of a slow process, but it has this energy of really appreciating the things around you and getting to a place where you might find that there is a nice union coming about. I don't know if this is a current union that you're in, but what I'm picking up on is that you might have a few different choices. And this confessions, you might be hearing some type of love confession I'm seeing with these cards, okay? So with this Silent One card and confessions, I am hearing also that, it's better to be the one that listens than the one that speaks. And then if you do decide to speak, the King of Swords here is telling me that make sure that you're educated in your choice of words that you decide to put forth. I mean, I feel like this is a bit, for me as well. I've been out of the game for a while, so I'm feeling that, I'm trying to choose my words wisely, okay, here with this owl, and also not to discard some of the more negative aspects, because it is within our shadow that we truly grow and we can excel in life, because when we integrate the 2, these can make the best choices, okay? So we're not going to have this be too long of a message. I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself first time out of the gate in quite a while. So we're going to go ahead and read this card, and then we'll get to your charms. All right, you have number 25. Oh, is that 5? Let me see. The light is just a fair. None can ask for more nor for less. It shines on all things without prejudice. Hidden blights, withered thoughts, all revealed. It observes all deeds without judgment. It's our hands that prevent what are shown. Accept the truth the light unveils. May your sentence be just and fair. It's very interesting. So yeah, I feel like this really brings all of this together. There is some conversations to be had. There is some listening to be going on here. And I'm seeing in your crystal that you chose also, there's lots of different paths that are crossing, okay? So these also are standing out to me as well, these lips. You know, beware of gossip in certain situations, because I mean, there's lots of ways to look at gossip. Sometimes it can be quite fun to gossip, but in other arenas, you know, it has to be an appropriate situation. So of course, you know, you gossip with your best friend, but maybe you wouldn't do that with a coworker, because that coworker could be playing 2 different sides. You know, that's just kind of what I'm picking up. So taking this leap of faith in whatever choices you decide to do, I feel like the universe has your back. Your spirits, your angels, your guides, whoever you subscribe to, they all have your back on this. And this Capricorn energy is also telling me, you know, take this steady approach. You know, this King of Pentacles is also telling me take this steady approach. The Knight of Cups is also reminding me to stay steady in your emotional energy. And the King of Swords is telling me that in order to achieve what it is to be successful in speech, we have to be a really good listener. All right, so let's go ahead and look at your charms here. All right, so you got this big key here. I see this cross as kind of a key to your health. If you've had any health things, the King of Swords here is kind of hinting at me that this could be a professional that would have all the right words, and you have the key to this healing. And I see this as a butterfly, as in transformation. Okay, and then you have, what is that? The Taurus. You have a moon, another key. Oh wow. Okay, this one is it's kind of like a lemon on here. I'm being guided to talk about my own personalness with lemons. I use them to squirt on a lot of my food. Even I'll have lemons just with hot water, like a tea. And this really helps with my digestion. I have had some issues with my digestion in the past, and I find that having a little bit of lemon on my food really helps elevate my digestion. We have this letter P, this blue stone here, this little thing that says B11. So the 11 is giving me union and relationships, okay? Kind of this doorway that you're walking through. And also it's giving me more of what was said in this poem about justice, and things will, you know, work themselves out here. I feel there's something to do with that. And then you have this little rose, and then the letter K, the number 7. And then this is the Gemini constellation. All right, so with all this together, I'm seeing that this moon is connecting me here with this Knight of Cups. So, you know, considering your emotions within this time period, when I'm going to be posting this, we're getting up to the next eclipse of this month, and like I had said in the beginning, that this has kind of guided me. This heavy eclipse energy is bringing me back to life as far as doing this. I mean, I've been up to a lot in the past few months and the year, but I'm feeling like getting more in touch with my spirituality and also sharing it is, getting more emphasized. So I feel like there's a lot of people that are going to be affected by this moon energy. I mean, you can't really help it, right? Especially if you have, I'm seeing Taurus or Gemini energy within this particular reading, because we could put this with the earth energy here, and we could put this with the air energy. We have two kings. So I'm seeing, like, just to kind of put it out there, I see you maybe as this feminine character. This is a knight, but it shows this feminine quality here in this card, and then this woman in this card. I'm feeling like if you are the woman in the situation, you might have two kings within your midst. That might be a thing for you. And the only other thing I'm guided to say is to consider your moon sign instead of your sun sign. So, like for me, I'm a Sagittarius moon and my partner is a Gemini moon. So, that kind of quality. And we have Gemini also in this card as well. So, kind of speaks to that. And then this is showing me that there's lots of layers to the situation. It's also maybe there's a right time for things to bloom and blossom, and maybe you're in this budding stage and you're ready to take this leap of faith, or you're getting to the place where you can do that. And if you're in an existing relationship, I see that there's so many layers to this relationship that you need to consider all those layers, every single one of them, because a relationship is going to be constantly evolving. See if I can pick up on anything else here. The 7 is giving me, I've seen a lot of 7s recently, and my address has a lot of 7s in it, so I feel very connected to the number 7, and it really speaks of the questions, the big questions that need to be asked, and really the evolving energy of being a human, getting to that age of consciousness. So you may be developing a new level to your consciousness, and that's lovely. Congratulations, that's beautiful. I mean, I've been reading a lot of books recently, really trying to get into the yoga principles, and I've always been pretty drawn to it, and I dabble back and forth, but now I've hit kind of a new level, and I wanted to get my yoga teacher training. Oh, I didn't even notice this here. We have another little purple moon, and then this little purple Q. Oh, there we go. So yeah, the questions. Are there some questions that maybe you should ask yourself? I mean, one powerful tool that I find very helpful, we can go back to this kind of scribing energy, is like writing down or dictating it to your phone in your notes. This is what I love to do. I'll do it with my dreams. I'll do it with journal of the day, or just, I also have moments where I'm challenged and trying to integrate my yoga principles with my day-to-day principles are very challenging. So sometimes when I'm brought up against a challenge with an individual, let's say, I like to talk about that, and then I'll kind of summarize the entire thing into one word or a phrase of words that will give me kind of an overview of the energy. And then if I culminate that with some of my dream journaling, it can really give me a sense of what I'm facing that day, because a lot of our energy that we're facing is a mirroring image. Okay, and I'm seeing this glassy kind of surface as like a mirror. Your emotions can be mirrored by those around you. So sometimes if you feel triggered by someone else's emotions that they're showing, and you're like, oh, I just really don't like that, that might be something within yourself that you're really working through. And it's always good to throw a layer of compassion on top of that. And I know that's difficult, believe me. Some people it's really hard to be compassionate towards because they just throw you through the ringer and they challenge the heck out of you. So this is really showing me that there is a lot of wisdom to be gained in this. These two owls are showing me they're going in both my line of sight, going, you have two sets of eyes to guide you to one view, right? We have two halves of our body that kind of go against each other sometimes because they're really trying to all come together. Our energy wants to come together and it wants to focus in on one specific thing. So if we have our emotion and our logic, our questions, and like some of the more emotional things, we can blend those together and really come up with something that is a workable foundation. And this is showing me that with doing this, you become a better conversationalist. You become a better person to listen and to receive information, and then you can respond in maybe a better way. Also, it's giving me think before you text, those kinds of things as well, because sometimes texting can be so dry, I feel, that you can just flip off a text really quick and not really think about it, but how is that other person going to perceive it? And I'm not saying to really overthink anything, of course. I mean, sometimes that can be a challenge as well, especially with this Gemini energy that we have here. Sometimes our mind can go so many directions, and it's just good to make a choice, right? But also, it is good to analyze things. It is good to look at things from many different perspectives. And looks like you have a lot of people around you, or you're going to have a lot of people around you soon, where you'll have to switch back and forth very quickly, and make sure that you're exercising that ability in your mind to be able to switch gears. Because like I said in the beginning, we don't want to take our work home with us. We don't want to take our home to work with us. And it looks like you are going to have the keys to a lot of success here in the future. So thank you so much for joining me. We have one last little message here. These are just from teas that I've had recently, so we're just going to pick a couple of these. I just thought they were really so on point. I mean, I would have my tea and be like, are you kidding me? It just would sum up my whole day. And so we have, be guided, listen to the whispers of the universe. Yes, pretty much what I was saying, right? Relate to your greatness and not your weakness. Yes. Oh, this one in particular was a very challenging day for me. I remember, and having that tea, and I was just, really using my breath work and trying to just breathe out my day. And when I got this was one I was like, are you kidding me? It just went so perfectly. So anyways, thank you so much for joining me. And if you're a subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're seeing me for the first time, thank you so much for enjoying the space with me. I really feel like I'm going to be doing this a little more often. It is going to be more of a hobby for me, but I really enjoy doing these. It brings me a lot of peace and comfort. So thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hello, Group 2. Thank you so much for bringing your energy here in this space with me today. I really enjoyed doing Group 1. Let's go ahead and dive into what you're going to be receiving today for your message. You picked this beautiful green crystal here, crystal ball, and you picked the letters N, R, G, and L. And we're going to read this toward the end. It has a little poem that I'm going to read out of the book. And I have some charms as well. So let's see your animal spirit. You got the swan spirit. Oh, lovely. Number 60, time for a deep dive. All right, already we got some deep energy going on with this one. So our first tarot card out is the Hierophant. There, yep, there we go. Then we have the Queen of Wands. Love to see it. The Hermit. And the Six of Wands. All right. And your moonology card, or your moon oracle card, is going to be the Black Moon Water. We have number 8 with dormant, isolation. Okay, that really makes sense with this one here. And then your forest fae is going to be the Green Man, embrace your wildness, and the Green Maid. The green fae speaks to you. Let them guide you to safety. Oh, very nice. So a lot of green energy there. So I'm also hearing to get outside. That's the first message across the boards. We have green, and then we have the Hermit here. And the Hermit is already showing me that there's like some paths that need to be walked. There's some energy that you're getting back here with this Queen of Wands. And since you do have these 2 major arcanas, it's telling me that there is a very deep situation happening here with you. And like I had said before in the intro, I was feeling guided to do readings again. And that was mainly because of this heavy eclipse energy. It was just really pushing me to get back into my spiritual groove and to share this also with people. So maybe you have been through a period of isolation. I mean, I relate, I've been there too. And possibly doing things a little conventionally as well. You may have even gotten married recently, or I'm seeing that you've had a lot of success within climbing the ladder, so to speak. And maybe we've also been kind of pushing a lot of our emotions to the side in order to be able to bring them within and really look within. That's what I'm seeing here. And you've really reached a new level. I'm seeing a lot of success that you've reached here with this Wands energy. You know, your spirit is really thriving here. That's lovely. I love that. And I'm seeing that this deep dive that you've been taking within this period of isolation has now kind of transforming into this kind of a glow up or a new energy for you. I'm seeing that you're maybe feeling a little like flirty again, or you're trying to maybe look your best. I'm seeing too, and that's so nice. It's really nice, because sometimes when we're really isolating ourselves, we're not really so worried about what we look like or anything like that. We're just going through the motions and we're doing the inner work. And as all of it is very necessary, you know, for me personally, I have moments when I like to dress up, but for the most part, I keep it pretty light, you know, because I like to do a lot of things, you know, with my hands. As you can see, I'm not a person who usually paints their nails on the regular, so I have a lot of physical, tactile things I like to do with my life. And here in this group, I'm feeling like you are kind of coming out of an era of dimming your light down. I feel like you are now ready to shine. You're ready to really show what you have gained within the spiritual journey that you have had. I feel like it's the inside is now coming out to show the world. It's so nice. And then this card, you know, says, let them guide you to safety. So I feel like maybe it was safe. It felt safe for you to be in this energy. But now there is safety within what you have succeeded upon. You know, sometimes there's this like time period that we go through where we need that inner strength to develop, and that's kind of what I'm seeing for this group. There is this inner strength developing within you, and this is also showing me that there's like a center point. It has this kind of whirling effect, and there's a center point that you're really looking at. I'm seeing her looking at the center of her hand here, and her focusing with one eye, and there's this point here at the top of these stairs, and there's this point here in the center of this. And I see this as like, you know, this says it's a dormant period of time. So just seasonally in general, depending on when you're watching this, we have been in a dormant period. I mean, winter is the time for us to go within, depending on where you live in the world. Most of us experience a winter period, and this time is sometimes confusing because we don't know how to manage our emotions. And where I live, it snows a lot, it's very cold, so I don't really go outside too much in the winter, and it's a real time for introspection. So I've been seeing this card quite a bit. And I'm thinking with you guys, you're ready to experience your spring energy. You're ready to bring yourself back to life here and enjoy the little things that are popping up, the little flowers, the little grass sprouts, everything that's newly arising. You need to really focus in on this energy that's in nature to bring that in for yourself so that you can come back to life as well, because we all have that season. And even if you live in a place where it's warm all year round, there has to be a period of time that you go through where you kind of go within, and then there is another season where you're coming out, you're coming alive, and you're ready to talk about things, and you're ready to celebrate your wins and things like that. So that is wonderful. So we're going to go ahead and read this for you. You got the crescent, and we'll get into your charms. At its heart, the moon always remain whole, and crescent is but one facet of it, occasionally eclipsed by a mere shadow. But firm on its course, the moon is transmutes itself from one phase to the other. Sliver of light shall turn full once again. This is precisely the nature of the moon, constantly in motion, unfettered by any demand, waxing and waning for eternity. That is very nice. So, like I had said before, there is a season to everything. There is a phase to everything. And I feel like you are really coming into a phase of just feeling really good about yourself and your situation that you're in. And I'm also hearing to say that finding the positive energy is gonna really be your superpower here. So within that introspection, we can find a lot of things that are wrong with us and a lot of negativity, but also there are those little nuggets of gold that we can carry those and make those a really successful energy. We don't have to dwell on some of the more negative things, which sometimes can outweigh some of the more positive things. That is just the nature of life. And I see with this number 6 up here, there's a balance to be had. The 5 is telling me there's a lot of change. The 9 is saying you're coming to the end of something. The 8 is saying you are going to be successful with whatever you do next. You're always on the right path at the right time, also, I want to say to this group. All right, let's get into your charms. All right, you got the infinity symbol here. You got this little blue llama. I love that thing. You have the Libra constellation. Oh, 2 Libras. All right. A little flower, you have the Om symbol, you have a little green jewel, or I'm sorry, that's purple jewel, green flower. You have a letter S. We have, this is Scorpio, is this Scorpio? Yeah, Scorpio constellation. We have this little horseshoe, and we have this little lollipop, and a flamingo. All right. Yeah, I'm seeing with this group too, there is a sweeter side to things, like an innocence. And also I'm seeing the balance here with the flamingo and the nature of the flamingo with this pink colors I'm seeing. There's a hue that the flamingo depending on its diet and where it lives, of course, flamingos in the zoo aren't as brilliantly colored as the ones in the wild because they drink from those really briny waters. But the flamingo, when it has a baby, okay, its color and its energy and its nutrition is really depleted because it gives all that to its baby. And then it kind of backs out of its mating dance, and it doesn't really participate in a lot of the strenuous activities that go on with these big groups of the flamingos. So, you know, there may have been a time, like I had said before, the season where we were restoring ourselves, and that's just beautiful because now you can enjoy the sweet rewards that are coming along with this. And this purple stone is showing me that maybe there are some things that you have been abstaining from or needing help to abstain from. I feel that with the Hermit as well, you know, considering our health. And the cycles here, the infinity symbol is also showing me that this wisdom that you have gained from this experience passes on in this life into the next. You know, it's a congruent energy. It just keeps going. So that's beautiful. I love that. I also feel this flower is giving me friendship. I also see this pearl in the middle as something that was once an annoyance to you is now becoming something that is very prized. So it's like working through a difficult situation and getting the good result at the end. Also with the llama, it's kind of like a rubbery little llama. So I'm feeling like you've become also quite flexible within this. You know, the Queen of Wands, she can bounce back and forth from different situations, and she's a very flexible character. I mean, I also see her in this pose as well. You know, maybe also flexibility is something that you have been cultivating more of. This Libra is showing me again that balance that you've created within yourself. And the Om is showing me there is a new beginning. There is this new beginning that is coming to life. And it is because you have done a lot of inner work. That is really good. And doing maybe mantras or something like that within your practice. I mean, I know I've been working on my yoga practice quite a bit. And I'm getting now more into being verbal about them, doing more mantras. And it really does help hone in this deep spiritual connection. It also takes away from the distractions that you can really have when it comes to meditation. So lovely. I love this. All right, so I have one other thing. These are just some tea tags that I've had recently, and I just thought they were all so interesting that I might as well share them. Some days I was just like, are you kidding me, universe? Wow. Okay, we have trust creates peace. And your strength is shared when you are present with others. Oh, yes. This was another one that I had said in group one, but this is another one that was a big day for me as well. And I had just taken everything within me to just try to be the bigger person in a situation I was in, and I succeeded in that, fortunately, but I could have taken it another way so quickly. And you know, that is also, you know, this fire energy that you have. These two cards in the suit of wands is just, they're so able to be more balanced with the 6, you know, like there's more balance in that because you've already overcome something. And the Queen of Wands, you know, she can bite your head off with a few words, but she usually chooses not to because it taints her energy. So why would she want to act negatively when she has so much glowing positivity within her? And I feel like people who are attracted to this group, you know, I really feel like you trusting in the process is going to create a lot of amazing, peaceful, just blissful situations for you. So thank you so much for being a part of this energy and this reading and joining me. I know it's been quite a while since I've been doing readings, And I'm just really enjoying this. It really brings me back to life. So thank you so much. All right, bye-bye. All right, hello group 3. Thank you so much for joining me in this energy exchange today. Group 1 and 2 just felt so great, and I'm so glad to be back doing these readings. So we're going to read this card at the end. I have a little poem that's attached to that in the book. You chose this beautiful little fairy stone here. It kind of looks like a fertility goddess. Yeah. And you chose the letters E, B, P, and T. And let's go ahead and get into your cards, and then we'll look at some charms. All right, so your spirit animal walking with you today is going to be the buffalo spirit, number 10. The abundant universe will provide. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. And we have your first tarot card out is going to be the Hanged Man, the Strength card, the Princess of Wands, and the Princess of Cups. How about that? And we have Isis here with the Leo energy and the red moon, or the red sun, or I think that's the red sun or the red moon. It has to be the moon. And then your Fae, Forest Fae, are the Thimble Witch. There is magic in beginnings, so start something new. All right, nice. And we have Hedge Guardians, walk Windershins and seek the land under the hill. I don't even know what that really means. I would have to look that one up. It seems like an English phrase from England or some European country. So, see this dog guardian here as well. Very nice. All right. First thing I'm seeing here is there is a pause in this energy in order for you to develop some strength. I'm also feeling that those that were guided to this might be a little younger, or really bringing back to life that energy of falling in love with the world again, really seeing it for this beautiful spark within. Even if you are an older person, I feel like there is this kind of energy. I see this face turning, like this energy growing inside of you that is bringing back some really sweet, sensitive energy. And you know, you might have been kind of tired of this waiting period. I know I keep seeing this card and the Hermit card for myself, and I think one of the groups got the Hermit card. So we are all, you know, in this transitional seasonal period right now, and this eclipse season, everything, there's a lot happening here. And so I also see this Pisces energy and this Leo energy as being very, very strong and cultivating of this being able to deal with situations better in life. I think some of us have been really triggered in the past. You know, we've gone through a lot of phases that have made us act out of some of the things that had hurt us in the past. And since then, I feel like this buffalo spirit is really coming to say, you've done the work. You have had a really big epiphany, possibly even about your own gratitude, and finding the strength here with Isis to be able to bring yourself back to life again, bring things back to life. And sometimes it's not always easy to do this, right? I mean, there's a lot of perspectives that we need to have and share with others to where we can get to the point of receiving the messages that the universe is offering us here. And I see these two cards as there are a lot of messages coming in. You know, there's a lot of, like it says in here, there's magic in the beginnings. So there's something here that you're going to be starting, and this is showing me that there's a spark coming to life. There's something within you that you're starting to see the developing energy of this, and you're putting your emotion to it, and this is really creating a beautiful manifestation for you. This number 12 here and this number 8 is showing me that with this introspective communication that you've had and this layering effect of bringing the two sides and integrating them into your life. I'd spoke about this, I think, in group 1, where, you know, I've been working and reading a lot of books about my yogic practice, and I've decided I want to get my yoga teacher training, and one of the main things that they practice is integrating that spiritual life in with your day-to-day life, because, you know, I can't just be a monk on a hill. I mean, it might be nice for a period of time, but I'm very much a part of this Western world, and I like to integrate both. So there are times when I can be very triggered, and depending on how I react is going to really set the stage for everything in front of me. And even when it is really hard to, you know, react positively, that is the moment where you've used the integration of your spiritual energy in with the energy of your, you know, every day-to-day life. So I see that you're doing this. I see that you have really started to trust as well. I feel there's a lot of trust that comes with this energy. I see this story of the indigenous people and how they would always know that even if they had a really harsh season, that they could count on the migration of the buffalo to come through so that they could sustain themselves further. And I'm seeing that with you as well. I'm seeing like this kind of like a traveling energy as well. Like there's kind of this, you might have been in this holdup, and I'm thinking maybe you might want to travel somewhere. You might want to, you're maybe even thinking about this and bringing this into your life. And like I'd said with the buffalo, you might want to just migrate somewhere for a little while. Maybe if you're in a very cold part of the world, you want to go somewhere warm, or if you're in a very warm part, you would like to experience some cool weather. You know, regardless of whatever your situation is, I feel like with this Ankh, there is a lot of things that are being brought back to life. There's a lot of protection on your side as well, because when we cultivate that inner strength, we can face a lot of challenges. Especially, I'm being guided to say to face these challenges with a childlike heart. You know, a very fresh energy that almost kind of like, even if you're an older person, sometimes I approach things with a naive energy. When I'm speaking to people, I let them speak in a way that's like I could react with all the age and the wisdom that I have, but really I choose to sometimes be like, oh no, you tell me. Like what do you think about that? Like that's how I would react with children as well. You know, I would, you know, and if you have children in your life, like maybe I would say listen to them more, or approach situations where you're saying, well, why don't you tell me what you think, instead of you laying down the law all the time, or, you know, telling them what to do. Maybe you should ask them what they think that you should do, because you'd be surprised the kind of answers you get when you do that kind of stuff. And so yeah, this is beautiful though. I feel like there's a lot of big changes coming your way as far as you understanding this whole universal energy. And you may have been a part of it before, but I'm seeing this growth and this fertility. And like this stone, it took a lot of time for this stone to be dripped out and form into this form. And this is a process that takes time. I also see that this, in order to be sensitive with this little lamb, you know, even though we have a fierce side of us, you know, we have to bring back that gentle, soft energy in order to, you know, talk to something that is so young and precious, because sometimes we forget that they're just beginning and they're just seeing the world in a very innocent light. And for us to hit them and inundate them with so many facts about the world can be a pretty harsh reality. So having a sensitive approach, I'm feeling, with your conversations is really going to help elevate your energy. And that's just amazing. I love this. It's so beautiful. So let's go ahead and read the poem on this one. We have fog, these beautiful unicorns here. Dense fog descends. Stars fade behind gray curtains. All is but a silhouette, in the distance. Drape yourself in nebulous concealment. Still remain resistant and caution. Not too long, and the gale will sure come. Dispersed by the fog and all schemes. Very thought-provoking. I have one here, and let's do your charms. Alright, so you got this little bag of chips. It says lay one big one. The little poo emoji, it's funny. And you have this little star card here. So another tarot card for you. And I'm really seeing this as you're seeing things a lot more hopeful these days, and you're bringing out a unique side of yourself. And with these cards, I feel like there's this half of you, this side of you that is really being brought to the surface. And also I'm seeing that maybe you are also a content creator. We have the Aquarius as well. So we have 2 Aquarius. And we have a dolphin. We have kind of a theme going on here. We have dolphin, mermaid, and seahorse. We have a little angel wing. You have the Aries here with courageous. What does this one say? Friendly. Okay. And you have the amethyst, little stone, a bicycle, a little dress here on a hanger, and this little teddy bear, and the boba tea. All right. Okay, right away I'm hearing a lot of messages from the seahorses speaking pretty loud for how tiny it is. So this is showing me that, like I had said before, with putting the answer in the hands of the child, like I feel like the male is the one who births the babies for the seahorse. You know, he's handed over the brood of eggs, and then he develops them, becomes pregnant, and then he gives birth to them and guards them. And I'm seeing that there is this energy of maybe letting someone else kind of take the reins while you take a pause, you take a time out. Maybe our energy has become, you know, kind of drained from, I'm seeing one of you watching this, someone is a parent here. So that's probably why I even talked about children. And I feel that there's like a siren song within you that wants to come out. There's something that wants to come out within you. I'm seeing that your connection to water is also very important. And this moon energy could be affecting you quite heavily. You have a lot of guardians on your side here. You have some protective angels that are watching over you here. This boba tea is showing me a little sweet treat, something to treat yourself. Also, I'm feeling like having more fun with some of the beverages that you have or snacks that you have. Maybe there was a group where I was talking more about health, but I'm not really getting that so much with this. I'm seeing that this kind of like a childlike energy here with this little teddy bear and the bicycle. It's like this said, you know, kind of start something new. Like if, let's say, just for instance, you don't know how to ride a bike and you're an older person, maybe try riding a bike, learning how to ride a bike. You know, they're always doing something for the first time. You know, Aries is also giving me, we are in the season of Aries, and right now is a prime time to be doing things for the first time. You know, it's ripe with that energy. I'm also seeing maybe even buying that dress that you've had your eye on, or wearing something different. I'm also seeing dance. I see this as kind of a ballerina dance. Maybe you like to dance, and that's a good way to really develop your energy, really bring back that childlike spirit to yourself. Sometimes I like to just dance out my energy. I'll put on some music and I'll just dance, and that I just find that as a form of connecting more with spirit, and also just bringing myself more back to life, because sometimes we can get pretty stagnant in our day-to-day routines and everything. So, you know, switching it up with some music you like and just dancing, and no one has to watch. You don't have to go out somewhere and dance. unless you feel like it. But that's a really good way to, again, look at the more introspective side of yourself, finding more parts of yourself, and you can laugh at yourself in that process, and it really works for me. I also see this stone as having the ability to communicate with others. I'm seeing this as crown chakra energy. Also, for those of you who maybe are a little more drawn to snacks than healthy food, this is kind of showing me that the amethyst, really has an ability to help us abstain from certain things. And meditating with this kind of stone, or putting this by you while you are in the mode of eating, I'm also seeing that might be helpful. Aquarius energy. Yeah, I'm also seeing lots of conversations coming through. So, your friends and things, they might be very important to you at this time. The dolphin is giving me playful energy, just jumping in those waves, dealing with those emotional waves that come, because we always go through ups and downs, right? And the dolphin has this, I don't know, I've never really heard this, but I feel like the dolphin has this ability to have a very high serotonin in its brain. Like, it just is always happy. I mean, it can find play in a lot of things. This particular marble, it makes me think of root chakra, also new beginnings, and also finding something very deep within yourself. I found this in the earth once when I was gardening, and it was in the back of my house, and I just put it along with my charms, and that's what I get from that every time it pops out, is that there might be something within this gardening. It could be something that you might want to get into, something new you might want to do. I'm also seeing with this star card here that working with earth and water energy together, it could be very beneficial to your spirit, and really developing yourself as you work with these different elements. Just a simple way. You don't have to do it in like a ritualistic way. Just it could be just very simple and matter of fact of doing a rudimentary type thing like gardening. And then the other message I'm getting here from the seahorse is, if you are married and you have a masculine in your life, maybe letting him kind of take on some of the responsibilities while you go out and you have a little tea, or you go have a bike ride, or you go do something. Or maybe also I'm seeing like the energy of you guys separating in a way that's like, I'm gonna go do my thing, you go do your thing, and then you can come together at the end of the day and share some things that you experience. It's funny, today I'm being guided to kind of share this, but I had sent a text to my boyfriend thinking, well, first of all, I sent it to my realtor by accident. And I said, I would really like to try something with you as far as our relationship goes, if you're game. And it's where you share at the end of the day before you go to bed what were things that, were your highlights of your day, and what were your pitfalls of your day. And then I sent that to him, and I realized I'd sent that to my realtor, and me and her had like a little bit of a laugh about it. But she was like, oh, thanks, that's actually good advice. I think I'm going to do that with my boyfriend too. And I was like, LOL. At least it wasn't one of my more embarrassing texts to my boyfriend. She thought that was funny. So I was like, maybe you'll have some funny conversations with people and you could just laugh about it. I mean, I could have looked at it like, oh my gosh, that was so unprofessional of me. But, it came out okay in the end. It was fine. And we had a good laugh about it. So yeah, so I do feel you connecting with people. And also, like, I think I had said this to one of the groups, that before you send a text, just from my experience, even though it worked out, like, you should always review it, really put your emotions into it, because sometimes we can always be a little harsh with text, or we're quick because it's just this quick energy, and you don't really think to put too much emotion behind it, or really consider that maybe how the other person would feel. And sometimes, that can be pretty important, especially with a partner that you have. And if you're going to be asking anything of this partner, there's a very gentle way about, if you ever wanted to look up and watch a little video of how these seahorses exchange the eggs. It's just this flowy little gentle process, and it's just so sweet and delicate. And sometimes we need to bring those sweet, innocent, delicate energies back into our relationships, because it can really keep the flame going. It can keep things alive, and it can strengthen the bonds that we have. And with this eclipse energy and all this, Venus retrograde, I mean, we're all really going through it and reviewing things. So now is the time to bring back that sensitive, loving energy that we all have. If you just take a moment, you can find a deep well of it within you. So thank you so much for being a part of this reading. I really, really enjoyed this. And oh wait, before you leave, let's get you, these are some teas that I've had recently that just kind of blew my mind, so I want to share. It says, may your head and heart speak with one voice. Oh, hello, I was just talking kind of like that, right? When fear is forcing you to give up, call upon your heart's courage to continue. Oh, yes. So that can speak volumes to pretty much any situation. But going back to that relationship situation, I have really been tested in my relationship. I've been with my partner for a very long time, and it's always evolving. But when you can really turn that, what you're afraid of, into something that's workable, like this, the original depiction of this is kind of coming into my mind. And working with the energy of a lion, the courage that it would take to actually do something like that, and the sensitivity at the same time. It's really balancing that heart and that head. Why are you doing what you're doing? What's the logic, what's the emotion? Put it together and you get this beautiful surprise sometimes. Really coming back to life here. I think really seeing, I'm also feeling like, oh look, you got a special little message. You got a tiny little feather. Oh, see, spirit is with you guys. This reading is amazing. You guys have really got this spiritual little angels on your side here. Oh, this is why I love doing this. I'm so glad I'm back. Thank you so much. It's really giving me a very powerful energy that just really sings to my spirit. So thank you so much for joining me today. And if you'd like to come visit me again, I would love that. So thanks. Bye-bye.